I think mainly they look for experience rather than just like youngsters applying for their first time job. I think mostly that you've got somebody who's got 15 years experience, then you've got somebody who's got 5 years experience. You know who employers are going to go for, to be honest.
This is Jake. Jake has applied for 400 jobs, had 60 interviews, and he's been rejected by every single one of them, including Pizza Hut. Yeah, Pizza Hut, you know how that's. You might relate to Jake. You might feel for Jake. There's a lot of people like Jake. I used to be like Jake. Not now, but I used to. My name is George Michael, and today I'm going to help you get a job. Let's go. Tip number 1, construct a well-structured CV. What's a well-structured CV? A well-structured CV is one that's not overcrowded and full of too much information. Naturally, you want to sell yourselves, right? But you don't want to make it very difficult for the recruiter to pick up on your key skills and qualifications. You want to try and sell yourself without having too much paragraphs and too much information, making it really bulky and really difficult for a recruiter to read. Typically, not all of them, but lots of recruiters only spend around 30 seconds reviewing your CV or application. It sucks to hear because you put in so much effort in your CV, but they only spend a few seconds reading and reviewing it. The reason behind this is because for some jobs, they receive hundreds and hundreds of CVs and applications. They don't even go through every single one if the amount is that much. So, to get through as many as they possibly can, they skim read through quite a lot of them. The ones that catch their eye are the ones that they will review again once they've put it in the maybe pile. You want to be one of those CVs that catches their eye. So try and use bullet points as much as you can. Make sure that your CV is grammatically correct. There's no spelling mistakes or anything like that. If spelling mistakes do exist in your CV, it makes the elimination process that much more easier for the recruiter. It lets them know something about you. It lets them know that you're a bit careless. You are trying to sell yourself here, and you're working on a computer. Make sure that you've used spell check and make sure that your CV actually does make sense. Make sure that your CV is structured well. There's no formatting issues. Try to avoid having a lengthy CV. Try and keep it to a maximum of 2 pages. If you can get your CV down to just 1 page, even better. Again, this makes it easier for the recruiter to go through your application and pinpoint your key skills and qualifications. Tip number 2, conduct your online job search. Once you're happy with your CV, you can go ahead and you can apply to whatever job it is you want. Go on to websites like LinkedIn, JobSite, Read.com. There's many websites out there. When you're conducting your search, try and be aware of the fact that there are some jobs that have been posted for quite some time. You might find a job that is really appealing to you, but it might be around 3 months old and they might not have remembered to close the application. So you might have applied for the job thinking you're going to get a reply, but the application stage is actually now closed. When conducting your search, if the option is available to you, try sorting the posts by most recent. If you start by most recent, you will be ahead of the queue. There's hundreds and hundreds of people that will be applying to the same jobs as you, and some CVs will not be seen. To maximize your chances of being seen, try and apply for the ones that have been posted quite recently, if that is what you are interested in. It's not that you don't stand a chance with jobs that have been open for quite some time, but it means that you have a much more competition with those jobs that have been opened for quite some time, if they are still open. If you're applying for jobs that are more recent in their post date, you are more likely to be seen by a recruiter. Tip number 3, amend your CV according to the job most attractive to you. There may be some jobs that are really stand out, that are really attractive to you. To try and maximize your chances of getting a call back and being called back for an interview, review the job specification and make sure that your CV is in line with what they're asking for. If they've listed some key skills and qualifications that you possess, make sure that your CV makes mention of some of those things. So for example, if the job specification is asking you for fluency in English and in French and Microsoft Excel, make sure that these skills are present in your CV, whether it be in the list of skill sets you have or even your employment history. Make sure that you have communicated that you have these skill sets in your CV. This can really maximize your chances because a recruiter is looking for certain keywords in your CV, and if your CV has these things already, it's a no-brainer. Step number 4, apply for as many relevant jobs as you can. The key word here is relevant. You don't want to apply for jobs that have no relevancy to your skill set in your employment history, because you're less likely to get a call back. At the moment in this pandemic, there's a lot of people that have lost their jobs, which means that the competition is crazy right now. So if you've been job hunting for quite some time now, you know that there's some days and there's some weeks where you don't really get a response from people. Try and maximize your chances. If you have to send out 30 CVs a day, then do just that. But make sure that what you are applying for is relevant. Number 5, the contact stage. My advice here is to simply just be available. Be available. Recruiters have so many people to talk to. There's so many CVs that they've put into the maybe pile, and there's so many CVs that they're considering, and you're one of them. You might be one of them. You want to make sure that you're available. Granted, there are going to be times where they will call at a really inconvenient moment. But if you can help it, if you are in the middle of doing something, say you're doing the dishes, you're vacuuming, or you're outside and it's busy, if you can help it, move away from that environment that you're in and go to a quiet place if it is feasible. You want to take the call as soon as you can. You have a lot of competition, so you want to make sure that you take their phone call. Most of the time, these recruiters want to have an introductory call with you to see if they can get a feel for what you're looking for and see if they can pencil you into their calendar. You want to try and beat the competition to it, because there's going to be somebody else that they will call after you once you tell them to call you back at another time that is convenient for you. And speaking from experience, they don't always call you back, even if they promise to. So make sure that you do everything you can to try and take that phone call. It's serious. Make sure that you relax, make sure that you sound enthusiastic, make sure that you sound keen, and make sure that you have removed yourself from a busy environment and that they can hear you clearly. Now, when it comes to scheduling an interview, you want to try and take the earliest slot available. You're in competition with a lot of people. You want to try and beat the queue. You want to try and beat all of those guys. Make sure that the interview slot that you take gives you enough time beforehand to review the job application, to review the company, and to do as much interview prep as you possibly can. This is your shot and you want to give it all you've got. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but I rhymed. And then if by some miracle you get them to call you back at another time, they actually call you back, make sure that you pick up the phone. Don't try and blow them off again. Don't try and rain check again, because it might not happen. Make sure you pick up the phone. And that's it, guys. That's my 5 tips to help you get a job during the application stage. There's a lot of people right now who unfortunately are just like Jake. They're out of work, they're looking for new jobs, they're finding it really difficult, they've got bills to pay, they've got families to feed, and they've got ends to meet, and those ends just ain't meeting. So hopefully this video will be of great benefit to you. I'm going to be posting a lot more content like this, so hopefully those will help you as well. And if you do want to see those videos, please consider subscribing. And guys, I'll see you in the next one.